Hello everyone and welcome back to Neptune's Child Tarot. My name is Monique and this is my second tarot channel here on YouTube. Thank you guys so much for your continued love and support. If you're new, welcome to the channel. You may also want to check out my main tarot channel, Moon Moth Goddess, where I do have a bunch of other pick your card readings posted for you guys into playlists. For those of you that would like to book a private reading, you can find my email down below in the description box. Just send me an email and I will provide you with more information on booking readings as well as other services that I do provide. So today's pick a card reading, I actually just got done with doing a client's private reading. And one of the questions that was asked during the reading was, how can I break this cycle that I'm in? Okay, so I kind of took that idea and we're gonna do a pick a card reading on it today because I thought, I definitely like getting into some readings of how, we can kind of delve into some shadow work and kind of look at maybe things that are kind of going on within the collective. But I thought this would be a good pick a card for today, Friday. So I've already pre-shuffled all of the piles today. I'm not going to do any crystals today. Okay. I felt like the artwork on the cards was enough. It's very beautiful. So I want you guys to just kind of allow yourself to be drawn into whatever artwork is calling you in the most. If you feel drawn to more than one pile or all of the piles, go with whatever your intuition is telling you at this time. I am using the Kali Oracle, okay, by Elena Fairchild. So we're going to be, this is going to be part of your reading with one of these cards. Now, the guidebook, I am going to be reading from the guidebook for these oracles because they have some pretty deep messages that I feel like would be really helpful for you guys with whatever it is that the cards do bring through. I have not looked at any of them. I never do when I shuffle. But we will be reading from the guidebook with the messages for them. They are a little bit lengthy, so hopefully each pile isn't too long. I've kept the tarot and the other oracle cards to a minimum so that we can make sure that we have time for this, because I do have a full schedule today of other private readings that I have to get to. So I want to make sure that I'm, doing this reading justice, but as well respecting your time as well. And thank you guys so much for being here and clicking on the video. Thank you so much for being here. Okay, so how can you break the cycle that you are in? Okay, so for pile 1, we have this card here, Vishvamata. I'm not sure how to pronounce that right, but beautiful artwork. Vishvamata for pile number 1. Pile 2, you are going to be this card here, Kali Yantra. And then pile number 3, which is so funny, you guys. When I was just picking up this card, I saw 333 on the counter. And then you guys are pile 3. This happened yesterday too with the pick a card reading. I think I did it on my other channel, the Moon Moth Goddess channel. It's kind of weird. 333 keeps showing up. Okay, so pile 3, we have Anahata Kali. That is going to be yours. So how can you break this cycle that you are in? Okay, so like I said, no crystals today. I want you guys to really kind of just focus on the artwork. If you do feel drawn to more than one, go with whatever your intuition is telling you. Pause the video if you need a little bit more time, and I will see you guys at your reading. Hi, pile 1. So those of you that resonated with this card here, Vishvamata, for pile number 1, look at her third eye is like wide open there. Such a powerful card. Okay, so let's pull out your tarot first. Okay, and I will always have all the decks listed in the description box. I put them under little sections, oracle cards, tarot cards, for those of you that are wanting to know what decks I'm using. Okay, so let's see your tarot. How can you break this cycle that you are in? We have the Knight of Wands, okay? The Knight of Wands. We've got a little moose here. Knight of Wands. We have the Queen of Wands. Wow. It says the cosmic, I think the cosmic huntress. Queen of Wands. Look at that. She's got, looks like stars. I noticed that both of them too, they both have antlers and feathers. Okay. Oh, you guys got an extra card. We have the Magician, the Alchemical Master. We have the Caution with the Heedful Mouse. And we have the Ten of Cups. Okay, so let's see, because I didn't even realize you guys got an extra card when I shuffled. So let's see. Okay, so let's get the rest of your cards out. We have Nirvana Quartz with Clearing Karma. Okay, we're clearing karma. We have a leap here. Leap. And then we also have abundance. Okay, so let's see. How am I going to put these here? We might be, no, I better not. I might cut it off later. Okay. So how can you break this cycle that you are in? And you guys actually, with this card here, this is actually not part of the tarot deck. This is actually, if I can show you the box here, it is the El Goliath tarot deck. Actually, it comes in a huge box. The El Goliath tarot deck. And that caution card is actually not part of the tarot. It's actually an extra card that comes with the deck. It actually comes with 95 cards. So I'm actually wanting to see, we're going to look here, what it says about the caution and kind of start our reading off with that. Let's see. Where is that message at? I wonder if they put it at the beginning or the end with these extra cards. I might have to take a pause for a second. Okay, I had to kind of actually move things around because I saw in the camera that this card here was like the fan that I have on was kind of like all over the card. It kind of is doing it a little bit here right now, but not so much when it's here. Okay, so the El Caution, which is one of the bonus cards, it says stop and slow down. Okay, so how can you break the karmic cycle that you're in? Stop and slow down. It says reevaluate, think again, danger, walking into a trap. Don't rush at this time. Reassess your environment. Something is too quiet and not all it seems. Wow. Pitfalls, sinkholes, delays, dead ends. Now is a time to be cautious. Light up the path before you so that you can truly see what lies beneath your feet on your journey. It says, in this card, we see a fearful white mouse. Very much connected to the energy of the Fool card in the majors. He has unsuspectedly approached a snake on a dark trail along his journey. He is now standing right before the snake, literally. He is just starting to realize that although his journey is beautiful and full of wonder and adventure, it is also full of danger and traps. This card is telling you to be alert, stay sharp, and keep your eyes open and mind wide awake. Don't take for granted that just because you have not had any hiccups leading up to this moment, that it doesn't mean that there will be none ahead. Life is full of twists and turns, and it's important to stay grounded and humble in your demeanor and day-to-day dealings. Nature is the perfect place for your representation of danger. This is a metaphorical card that is indicating you have just walked into a situation that is not all it seems. It is urging you to really listen to your higher self and all your instincts. If something does not feel right in your gut, then you know it probably is not right. Use your emotions as they are key indicators of what you are sensing. Much like placing your hand on a red-hot stovetop, you will get a get out now, move away message if it's not already too late. Turn around and go back the way you came slowly. Life is full of pitfalls, sinkholes, dangers, and traps. People may want to trap your mind too and make you think the same way they do so they can control you. You are a strong individual and you do not need to give your power or light to others, letting them diminish yours so they can shine brighter. You can think for yourself. Look for signs and red flags. You cannot ignore danger. This card is urging you to think carefully before making any decision. Be optimistic, but be aware of what is going on around you and in your environment. This card is indicating a time where more checks are needed and deciding if you are going to be the fight or flight response. Choose wisely. Okay, so I feel like with that message, I don't know what you guys are going through with what kind of a cycle you're in, but being that this is about not giving your power away, you have the Magician here, and then also these powerful energies of the Knight of Wands and the Queen of Wands. Maybe for some of you, because I am seeing there's a leap here, and this is saying that this is connected into kind of like the Fool card, okay? And then you also have leap. So maybe some of you have are about to take a leap of faith into doing something. Maybe some of you have started on some type of new beginning. And so with this new beginning, maybe there's a need for you, like Spirit is saying here, to just stop and take a second. Because with a cycle, right? With a cycle that we're noticing that we're getting stuck in, it's important for us to, especially with this saying clearing karma here, and I don't want to, the fan is crazy up there. With this card here that says clearing karma, there may be a karmic cycle that you've been in, right? So karma, which is connected to the Justice card in the tarot, is about us thinking about our choices, right? Understanding that whatever choices that we make can ultimately lead to something great, something amazing, or it can lead us into some unfavorable circumstances and we are seeing, okay, I made the wrong choice, or I could have made a better choice, and now I'm in this situation. Now I'm stuck in this cycle here, okay? Some of you, there may be a need for you to be maybe more aware of your spending, okay? Being that we do have abundances here. Maybe for some of you, this is about a job change, a career change, maybe watching your spending. That can be something like, let's just say that the cycle that you're stuck in is scarcity or lack. Think about the choices that you're making. Are you overspending? You know, and this message can really be with anything, right? Because abundance comes in all forms, not just to do with money, but it can be with love. It can be with anything. So basically, how can you break the cycle that you're in? Is Spirit saying, take a pause. Take a second to really think about things, right? Think about your actions, your decisions, because ultimately, with the Magician energy here, you are in control, right? You are in the driver's seat. You are the co-creator of your own life. So your life is a, manifestation of combination of things, right? A combination of things. Our choices, our thoughts, the people that we keep around us, the energies that we hold on to from past. It's all a mashup of all of the energies that are there, that are present, right? And also, depending on the choices that we make, we can very well keep ourselves stuck in a cycle by certain thoughts that we might hold on to, or certain patterns of behavior that we might have that we need to break away from. Okay, so basically this is Spirit saying here, to really, how can you break the cycle, is about taking a pause, right? Using caution. Are we making the right choices? If and also I feel like judging your past with, have the past choices led you to happiness, or have they led you to a place where you're just like, dang it, why did I do this, right? So before, I feel like you take this leap, and with the Fool energy, the Fool can be a beautiful energy within the tarot, right? It's all about us taking a leap of faith, stepping into the unknown, having trust, having faith with the universe. But we also have to understand we are in control, right? We have to take some type of accountability for the situations, the cycles that we keep ourselves in, or that we get ourselves into, right? So I'm feeling like this is before, because the Fool can also be a very naive energy, okay? Because the Fool is essentially kind of like a newborn soul. And so this can also make us completely oblivious to the dangers, right? Just like this little mouse here that is a representation of the Fool energy. We can also not being very connected into our intuition or our higher self when we are making those choices, right? We can be making them based off of what our ego is telling us and not really listening to what our higher self is saying, right? And that can sometimes lead us into situations that are not so great. So yes, how can you break the cycle that you're in? Pay attention, okay, is basically what Spirit's saying here, right? And I noticed that in this Vishvamata card, she's seen here with her physical eyes, but also her third eye is wide open, okay? And the other thing I'm seeing here too with the Queen of Wands is her eyes too. They look like they're just super connected in to Spirit, looking like she's got all of those stars. I think they're stars that are in her eyes there, okay? And the Queen of Wands and the Knight of Wands, these are all about action, the energy of action, spiritual energy, the energy that we're putting towards something. So the Magician is about you being in your power and about you creating and manifesting and setting your intention and where you're focusing your energy. And he also, this Magician energy, looks like it's kind of looking out into, what it is going to manifest here. And I feel like all of these here, looking at the vision that's coming through here, we have the 10 of Cups, okay? So, but I'm also noticing there's a bunch of clouds here. There's a bunch of clouds. So it makes me feel like Spirit's saying here, with how you can break the cycle that you're in, is to check in with your higher self, check in with your spirit guides, your spirit team, your intuition, before, you take a leap of faith, before you do that. And I'm not saying that you have to be scared or afraid or, that you need to have fear before you just kind of jump into something. But this is Spirit saying, pay attention, right? Because yes, the Fool can be a beautiful energy with just kind of saying, okay, I'm going to do this, right? But this is Spirit saying, is it the right choice? Are you making the right decision? So be brave enough, right, to make changes where you need to, as you're guided by your higher self, as you're guided by your intuition. But like I said, sometimes we can make decisions without even thinking, right? And that can lead us into repeating patterns of behavior where we get ourselves into or stuck in, right? Without thinking. We're just doing something really without thinking, right? And this is the need for you to tune into your intuition, into feeling, right? Does this feel right? Which is basically what this is asking you here. Does this feel right? Take a pause to look around, right? Whether that is the people that you have in your life, whether it is a current situation that you're thinking about. Not to say that you have to have every single last thing figured out, right? Because when we do take that leap of faith, Sometimes we don't know, right, how something is going to turn out. We're solely going based off of what our intuition is telling us, right, is best for us, is for our highest good. So for many of you, yes, this can have to do with your abundance, but you do also have clearing karma here. Okay, clearing karma. So I'm interested to kind of see, because with the Ten of Cups energy here, this is ultimately leading you towards fulfillment, happiness. So this is basically Spirit saying here, you know, before you just kind of, let's say foolishly or naively, or what was another good word for the fool? Oblivious, right? To certain things, there is a need for us to think ahead, right? What is the vision? What is the plan? What is the goal? What are we trying to work towards here? Okay? And it all kind of looks like they're taking like a pause here to think, right? The Knight of Wands is, the Queen of Wands, the Magician, the little mouse here. Okay? So I want to see what your Vishvamata says, which is number 2. Where are we at? 12 minutes. Okay. So number 2 with Vishvamata. Okay. So it says, with her protection, even significant uncertainty does not need to be wrought through with despair. There is a pathway that can shift your devastation into a palpable experience of being protected and guided through a difficulty. Trust where you are being led. Grace shall come from this. The Divine Mother sees our capacity for breathtaking transformation and spiritual awakening, often far more than we recognize in ourselves. To fulfill our inner purpose and move beyond unnecessarily restrictive self-imposed limitations, we need her. When we hold back, gripping onto what is familiar, she lovingly forces our hand. Under her influence, we do not evade what is required of us. We find the inner strength to move directly through what we once denied ourselves the right and opportunity to overcome. You are encouraged to develop the confidence and commitment necessary to undertake the tasks that challenge and yet also inspire you. Do not allow yourself to be intimidated by the prospect of failure or opposition. Stay true to your path and progress step by step. Trust your capacity to grow into the fulfilling manifestation of your heartfelt aspirations. And I feel like that is your 10 of Cups. Okay? Although you may be in circumstances you would prefer not to be in, you are in a position of unrealized spiritual power. You will gain benefit from what is transpiring. When the relevant learning and personal growth have been acknowledged and integrated, these circumstances will give way to a more favorable situation. When Vishvamata appears, it not only signifies that we have the capacity to move through a situation we have avoided dealing with in the past, but that we can do so in a far gentler and more graceful manner than expected. You have the power of the Divine Mother's wisdom and blessing within you. Do not underestimate her. Do not underestimate yourself. When we are willing to look at ourselves rather than other people or external circumstances as the primary source of our pain, Vishvamata, the cosmic mother, appears with the genuine desire for you to heal and outgrow the causes of suffering. She is Kali. As a sweet, savorous, and beloved soul mother, she becomes, I can't even say that, Kripadhara, or the vessel of compassion. We can go to her and receive as much love, support, kindness, protection, and anything else we need. The babies that hang from her ears are invitations to approach her as a child would approach its mother, with complete trust and positive expectation. If we have had issues with mother figures, her presence triggers healing. Mother issues can impede our ability to trust and feel that we are safe and belong. They make it hard for us to feel that our inner life is valuable and worthy of attention, that we are truly loved and valued just as we are, and able to rest within ourselves feeling that we are enough. The Divine Mother does not struggle with human limitations. We can go to her wounded and messy, and she will receive, heal, and love us without judgment. Her expression, semi-wrathful yet serene, reminds us that her ways strengthen our boundaries against that which cannot support the soul. She will not hesitate to strike at what could harm us. She also dissolves the defenses we have unconsciously set up against life so that we soften and become eager to participate on our life journey. When we are not hardened, corrupted, or rendered bitter by life experiences, we can be more open, like a curious child, and be guided more easily by our hearts along the unique, empowering life path of the Divine Mother offers us. Okay, so just reading that and seeing how this is about building trust, I'm also getting from this message that how you can break the cycle that you're in, because this mouse is basically talking about fears, traps, dangers, things like that, right? Some of you, this may even resonate for you this way. Are you someone who blocks yourself? Okay, this is the other way that I'm getting this. Are you someone who keeps yourself in a place of fear, of the unknown, of thinking that I cannot take the leap of faith because of it being scary, it being dangerous, it going to be a trap? So this building trust here, the taking the leap of faith, makes me feel, for some of you, could be, there's a need for you to focus on learning to trust what your intuition is basically telling you, what your higher self. So yes, take a pause, right? Are you thinking from a place of fear-based thinking, where it is your own self-limiting beliefs, your own self-sabotaging thoughts that keep you stuck in that place, like the little mouse, right? Look at how he's in the dark, scary forest there. But could you be in a karmic cycle because of your own thoughts, making you feel like, oh, well, if I want to do this, then what if it's a trap? What if it's the wrong path? What if it's the not, you know what I'm saying? So some of you might even be and resonate with it that way, in which case you're needing to take a look at your fears, your insecurities. You know, are you too worried about taking a risk or a leap of faith because you have no trust? And that may also be a need for you to break the karmic cycle that you're in, to really work on healing your feminine energy. Some of you might have mother wounds, as this is talking about, right? Some of you might have mother wounds and maybe even a wounded feminine energy that you need to heal. Because ultimately, like I said, your higher self, your intuition, knows what your soul's path is and knows the way to help you to get out of the karmic cycles, right? But it does require your trust in yourself, right? So building up this energy of the feminine, of, you know, maybe healing any mother wounds, could also help you to learn how to trust and not get caught up in that, maybe a trap of your own mind, your own way of thinking. So I want to clarify, where did I put my tarot deck? I want to clarify this little mouse here to see where this is coming from. And that is what we're going to close out your reading with, to see if there's any other messages with that. But yeah, I'm also seeing it after reading this, that some of you might just literally be afraid to take a leap of faith, afraid to step into your power. And because of that, you find yourself in the same karmic cycles over and over again, especially if you're trying to bring about more abundance into your life, right? A job, a career change, or, you know, a project that you want to work on, because both of these energies here of the Queen of Wands and the Knight of Wands are about passion. They are about pursuing your passions in life, your creative energy. You know, the Queen of Wands is also a very sensual energy. It could be building up your self-esteem, building up your confidence in yourself, okay? Where the Knight of Wands is kind of like that unbridled, passionate energy that you have the power to tap into. So let's see, what is this? Do I want to take this? The Hierophant, I like it. Okay, so the Hierophant is beliefs. Okay, so I'm feeling more or less it's the other way around. It's that some of you are getting caught in negative thinking, and the Hierophant is about your beliefs. Okay, it is about your beliefs that are making you feel like, if I take a leap of faith, and because of your beliefs, there's a need for you to kind of see which ones are kind of like outdated, which ones are not serving you. Are you focusing on what other people are going to think? Because the Hierophant is also about convention and tradition, right? So if you've had any belief systems or values even passed down from parents or even from a mother, you know, are you stuck in that cycle of negative thinking, right? That it's the wrong path, or that you're making the wrong choice, or it doesn't feel right, you know, and you're too scared. You let fear, your own beliefs here, hold you back from taking a leap of faith and to fully stepping into your power, which will ultimately lead you towards that 10 of Cups. Okay? So I like that better. I like how that resonates better. But I don't know. You could take it either way. Some of you, literally, there could be a situation that you have yourself in right now, and Spirit's like literally saying, hold on a second. Before you go any further, take some time to really tap into your higher self right now. Okay? Are you repeating a same decision that you've made in the past, and you knew that that past decision didn't lead you to where you wanted to go? So this may literally be where you need to just take a second, meditate, you know, talk to your spirit guides. Those of you that do work with Kali, connect with Kali. Okay? So let's see here. Spirit, tell us a little bit more about this little mouse here, the cautious mouse. What is this energy representing? Your beliefs with the Hierophant. Justice, karmic balance. Okay? Karmic beliefs. Karma, justice. This is about making decisions for your highest good. Justice is karma. So this could be Spirit saying here that you are in a karmic cycle of limiting beliefs. Let's see what else, Spirit. What else does Pile 1 need to know about this little mouse? Judgment. Yep, we are clearing karma here. Basically, how can you break the karmic cycle that you're in? Judgment is life review. Okay? This is about you looking back to your past. What have you learned? Kind of like I was saying earlier. What have you learned from your past choices? Have they led you into saying, okay, yes, I know I can trust my intuition because it always leads me in the right direction? Or do you feel like every time I make a choice, I'm not happy? So then you have to think to yourself, is it really my intuition that's leading me? Or is it my ego? Is it my fears? Is it my beliefs? Is it the opinions of other people? And then I'm going in those directions, right? And it's leading me to getting stuck, right? So judgment, yes, it's asking you, what can you release? In this case, we've got the Hierophant, which is about beliefs. Bringing justice to them, clearing them, right? So yes, many of you, this can be a time for you to just kind of take a pause, think about the decisions that you've made in the past, where they've led you, because ultimately you're clearing karma here. Okay? Clearing karma. Take some time to look back on your past and forgive yourself, forgive other people. Okay? Forgive yourself. Sometimes we make the wrong choice. Sometimes we do. Right? But we can only learn from it. Make better choices in the future. Don't do what we've always done and expect the results to be different. We can choose different. We can choose wisely, right? We can choose from really tuning into what our higher self, our intuition is telling us, right? That will lead you to your 10 of Cups. That will lead you to your path of abundance, whatever abundance means to you. Okay? So that is all that I have for you. Pile number 1, I do hope this was helpful for you guys, and I will see you in the next reading. Hi, Pile 2. So those of you that resonated with the Kali Yantra card, this is going to be a reading today. So we're finding out, how can you break the cycle that you are in, okay? So let's look at your tarot. Is that it? Okay. Tarot, we've got the 7 of Cups. We have the Chariot. We have the 9 of Pentacles. And we have the Hermit. Okay. And let's see what your Oracle. Okay, so we have divine truth with Christ consciousness. We have the mind. And then we have productivity. Okay. All right, where do I start here with this one? Let me take just a second here. I think I know where I'm going, but hold on a second. Okay, so what I think I'm going to do, I'm actually going to start with this card here. And I think this will make sense. Because this card, from what I'm seeing here, it's kind of tying into this card here. And this one with the Seven of Cups. So how can you break the karmic cycle that you are in? Okay. And did I say karmic cycle? Cycle. Break the cycle. But it could be a karmic cycle, most definitely. Okay. So our card here is Divine Truth, Christ Consciousness. Okay. And this is from the Master Teacher Crystal Oracle, the Master Devas. Okay. So it says the divine energy of your Christ consciousness and your higher self. Okay. This powerful crystal has come as a reflection and sign that you are in a very expanded place in your life and are embodying the vibration of your higher self. A time when you are seeing things from the higher mind and not getting caught in the small stuff. You are starting to see the divine order in your life, and its blessings are coming in thick and fast. Your higher self is the all-loving, all-wise, all-knowing aspect of yourself. Okay, and I feel like that is super important for you guys to recognize. For those of you that sometimes you feel like, I don't know when it's my higher self. I don't know when it's my intuition. Okay, your intuition, your higher self, your ancestors, your spirit guides, your passed on loved ones, all of those messages that come to you in your dreams through nature, through your clairaudience, through your clairvoyance, they are all going to come in this place, all loving, all wise, all knowing. Never are they going to be fear-based, doubtful. If those are the kind of thoughts that you have, then know that is your ego. Okay? That is your ego. That is not your intuition. So this, if you're kind of caught up in that place, right? Literally within your mind here, when it comes to helping yourself to get out of these cycles, there is a need for grounding here. Okay, there is a need for grounding, especially with that Seven of Cups, and we'll talk about that. Let's see, where did we stop at? Divine order in your life, blessings come in thick and fast. Your higher self is all loving, all knowing. At a high frequency, you have entered a time in which you are able to access these aspects of yourself. The medicine of this crystal is similar to the truth crystal, except that it connects the truth that resonates at the Christ consciousness level. It also assists in creating a deep connection to the ascended masters. Okay, so there are many depictions of Christ consciousness, right? We can think about that in many different ways depending on your culture, your religion. You may have a different name for it. Okay. Some people call it Krishna consciousness. I've heard it, Christ consciousness, of course. Universal consciousness, however you resonate. Okay. It says, have you been doing lots of inner work on yourself? Have you been consistently meditating and raising your vibration? Have you been focusing more of your energy on your spiritual path? Have you been doubting your spiritual connection? Do you feel you have been accessing a higher source of light within inside of yourself? Are you actively calling on your higher self? Your higher self and the I am presence are manifesting and grounding into your reality, a level of consciousness that offers an abundance of healing energy. Miracles are available at will. Make sure when working with this powerful crystal that you call on your higher self to guide you through this time and be aware of what master is coming through for you. It could be Jesus, Kuan Yin. I can't even say that. I'm just going to say Saint Germain, El Moira, Melchizedek, or any other ascended masters. You are here to support, they are here to support you with your ascension and let you know you are heading in the right direction for your soul's growth. Take a moment to acknowledge how far you have come and how brave and courageous you are. Okay, and those of you, what crystal is this? I don't know that I've heard that. I don't know. Maybe there is a crystal that's... It says the Divine Truth Crystal has a very similar geometry to the Truth Crystal. It has 7 edges and these triangles... I'm sorry, 3 triangles. I don't have my glasses on, you guys. The 3 triangles, just like the Truth Crystal. However, this structure is repeated 3 times to make up the complete face of the Divine Truth Crystal. So I don't know if there's a specific crystal out there that's called the Divine Truth Crystal. Might have to do some research on that. But it says it's helpful for dissolving past life patterns, awakening to your higher self, and connecting to Christ consciousness. I might have to look that up. Also, creating harmony in your life, manifesting your dreams and goals, connecting to the magnificent of all that is, increasing intuitive awareness, meditating, and also creating balance. Okay, so with our question, how can you break the cycle that you're in? A lot of this is talking about you connecting in with your higher self, Christ consciousness, Krishna consciousness, universal consciousness, however you resonate. Okay, and we're literally seeing this lady who's sitting on the floor and her mind is just kind of like opening up. To me, I'm also seeing this as a symbol of expansion. Okay, now the issue I feel like could be with the 7 of Cups. The 7 of Cups can sometimes be when we feel overwhelmed, because the 7 of Cups is a card of choices and a card of options. Okay, and sometimes with the choices and the options that we have, we can get overwhelmed. And the 7 of Cups card is called analysis paralysis, which means that we might feel like we have so many choices, so many different directions that we can go in, you know, on our path or with what to do with a situation, that we feel confused. And that gets to the point where we can become stagnant, right? So let's just say that the cycle that you're in is stagnancy, indecision, right? There's the need for you here to connect in with your higher self, right? A force or kind of finding that consciousness within inside of yourself. Okay, and to help you to get there, right? This is talking about meditation. Even in this card here, she looks like she's kind of, I forgot what those are called. Mantras, right? Aren't they called mantras or something? I forgot what they're called, the proper name for them. They could be mantras. But we have the Kali Yantra here. So we'll read a little bit more about that. But she looks like she's praying here too, right? Kali looks like she's putting up some prayer hands here. So breaking the karmic cycle, or breaking the cycle that you're in, could be karmic. I'm feeling grounding here because you also have the Hermit. And with this Hermit card, we're seeing this little armadillo who looks like it's tucked into its little shell here, right? It looks like it's kind of resting here, which is what the Hermit is about. The Hermit is about rest, healing, reflection, introspection, solitude, okay? This is really about withdrawing from the world, right? This little armadillo here is kind of, looks like it's in a little nest. But it's there, right? And there's all this cosmic energy that's surrounding it. But maybe some of you In order for you to break the cycle that you're in, maybe there's healing work you need to do. Maybe you need to do a little bit more introspection, looking within, withdrawing from certain people or certain situations, because ultimately you're going to find the answers, right, to life's questions, not outside of yourself, but from within. Your soul knows your path. Your higher self is trying to lead you, right? By giving you clues through your intuition, through your dreams, through nature, through, anything like that, and the way that you communicate. So maybe some of you are needing to take a pause. The Hermit is about going on a soul's journey, discovering the self, reflecting within the self. What have you learned this far along your path? What can you heal? What can you release? What can you let go of? The Hermit can also be when we are in a dark night of the soul, right? We could be going through depression. We could be feeling lost on our path, confused, overwhelmed. Now, the problem with the Seven of Cups, which is also the shadow side to this card, the Seven of Cups can be keeping ourselves stuck in a fantasy, in an illusion, right? So if we are kind of keeping ourselves stuck in a cycle of fantasy and illusion, again, we're connecting in with the higher self, we're grounding, we're spending time in solitude, withdrawing from people, withdrawing from situations, going within. Okay? Going within the self. The other positive thing about the Seven of Cups is this is also about our dreams, our visions, right? Of what we're wanting to create here, right? So a busy mind can also be filled with a lot of self-limiting beliefs, negative thoughts, and sometimes there is a need for us to just rest and shut off, in a sense, the cognitive mind, which is the busy working mind, okay, and connect in with the intuition, the soul's truth, the soul's knowing, okay? Maybe some of you, a regular practice of prayer, of meditation, of connecting in with your higher self, your intuition, Christ consciousness, Krishna consciousness, universal consciousness, whatever you resonate with. Grounding, I'm also seeing here, being that you also have the Nine of Pentacles energy here. Okay? So the Hermit is card number 9. The Nine of Pentacles is also number 9 as well. The Nine of Pentacles is about independence, about stability, about security, about enjoying the fruits of our labor. It's about all that hard work that we've put into what we've nurtured and then being able to enjoy that. Look at how this little deer here is kind of nuzzling down into all of these beautiful lotuses here. And I'm seeing that these lotuses are actually you, pile 2, moving through this process of the Hermit energy, spending time alone, spending time in solitude, healing, doing the shadow work, the inner child healing, whatever needs your attention, right? Going within the self, what is asking for your attention? What needs healing? What needs releasing? Do we need to heal beliefs that we have? Do we need to stop the self-sabotaging thoughts? What is it that needs your attention? And the way that I look at this Nine of Pentacles with all of these lotuses here is all of this work that you've done to heal each and every one of these little aspects of yourself, right? So that you feel more grounded, you feel more stable, you feel more secure, you feel more independent, right? There's a sense of freedom here that comes along with that, especially with you having the Chariot, okay? The Chariot is about you balancing out your energy, masculine, feminine, yin and yang, shadow and light, however you want to look at that, and about us having the focus, the determination, the willpower to move towards what we want. So I'm also seeing productivity here, right? So many of you, it could be that you're stuck in a cycle of stagnancy or indecision or, things are not moving, okay? To me, this can also be you sorting through your thoughts, being that we have this lady who's like literally opening up they look like those little Russian nesting dolls, where she's opening up her mind, expanding her mind, right? This can be sorting through these thoughts that you might have, your feelings, your emotions. How do we do that? The Hermit energy. Okay? If, however, you've been someone who's been stuck in a cycle of the Hermit energy, right? This can be the complete opposite, where you have done nothing, because the Hermit can also be, a stage that we stay in for a long time in our life where we don't do anything. We're not getting anything done. We don't feel productive. We don't feel like we're, making any progress in our life. And if that is the case, right? The Seven of Cups, like I said, it's called analysis paralysis. There's so many choices, so many options, right? Take this time in your Hermit energy to reflect on where your soul is calling you, right? Because all of those options are available to you, might be available to you, right? But the important thing is that you're choosing one to focus on. Maybe it's two that you're really focusing on, and then getting in your chariot and going, right? So that you can create this powerful energy of productivity in your life to then achieve, right? Let's just say that Nine of Pentacles, okay? So for some of you, this can be, how can I be more productive? How can I move out of this cycle of this lack of productivity? Or I feel bored, I feel stuck, I feel lost, I feel in pain, I feel depressed. How can I get out of this cycle of depression, right? There's a need, like I said, there's a need for grounding here. Maybe it's sorting through your feelings, through your emotions, right? Kind of opening up, in a sense, the layers of your mind. Are there fears there? Are there insecurities? Digging deep. That's what the Hermit is about, right? Deep within the self. So let's look at your Kali Yantra message here, which is number 12. And this is the Kali Oracle. Let's see, number 12. And some of you that are, let's just say stuck in illusion, stuck in a fantasy, there's a need for grounding, right? There's also you having the willpower to break yourself free out of whatever illusion that is. Whether the illusion is, I can't do this, or I can't get this done, or if it's an illusion that another person is keeping you stuck in, it is your power of will to break yourself free from that and to be independent, to be secure. Some of you, it could be surrounding financial security for you. Okay, so let's look at what your Kali Yantra says. And it says, she is your inner power to evoke a positive shift in your circumstances. If anything required for success be lacking, the Divine Mother shall provide it, bridging the divide between you and the manifestation of your intentions. You are crossing a critical spiritual threshold. She is the true guardian and guide. Stay focused on what matters to your heart, and you shall remain faithfully connected to her protective presence within. Allow distractions to fall away and continue to commit to your soul journey. A more beautiful experience of your life path awaits you. A yantra is a sacred geometric representation of the particular reality of a specific divine being. Here, it is the symbolic and actual entry point into the sacred realm, the inner world, the universe of Kali. In gazing at a yantra, allowing our minds to settle and focus upon it, the soul can turn the subtle inner key that opens the gateway to merging with the divine. It is a visual trigger that opens the inner doors of higher perception and mystical reconnection to our divine nature. You know what's funny too? And this is reminding me of that. When I was shuffling and putting your pile together, and I didn't know why, because I don't know what this is, but I was hearing for you guys sacred geometry. When I was shuffling your cards, I was asking Spirit, like, how can pile 2 break the cycle that they're in? And I kept hearing sacred geometry. And I was just like, I don't know. I don't know. I haven't even looked at the cards yet. I don't know what this means, but okay. But yeah, this just reminded me of that. So this is the yantra here. Okay, that is the yantra. It is the visual trigger that opens the inner doors of higher perception and mystical reconnection to our divine nature. Contemplating a yantra is a method for mystical meditation, the meditation that brings the heart into unity with the higher consciousness of Kali within. As we activate the yantra within our beings and connect with the energy it offers, the enlightened body of the deity constellates itself through us. The clearer we are within ourselves and the more connected we become with the deity, the stronger the multi-level, multi-dimensional, multi-directional mandala of grace shines forth through us for our spiritual benefit of all beings. In a reading, this signifies that Kali is already working with you. Wow. So some of you might already be connected with Kali. That is really cool. She might already be working with you. The Kali Yantra in particular is a signifier of the downward flow of grace. It is oriented to the material world and all matters related. It is the cosmic trip switch for spiritual energy to be attracted towards Earth. It unveils the divine luminosity beneath appearances and, when needed, heals and transforms material reality to align with the higher divine will. The yantra of Kali is alchemical and reconstructive. The healing that can emerge through it is unrestricted because she is the spacious vastness of primordial being. She is the birth of all phenomena, which permeates all phenomena, and can transform it all according to her divine will. In a reading, this indicates a transformation of a physical concern, so it aligns with the spiritual will of the universe. Okay, and then it just kind of goes on to explain this yantra here. But yeah, maybe for some of you, I don't know, like I said, I kept hearing sacred geometry. And maybe for some of you, it is working with a yantra of, a deity that's connected into a deity so that you're connected into that power, that energy. Maybe for some of you, if the chariot is really something that is helping you to progress or to move forward and break free from, right, the cycle that you're stuck in, connecting in with your higher self, connecting in with Christ consciousness, Krishna consciousness, universal consciousness, a specific deity that you're working with. We've got prayer, meditation, grounding, okay? Time to reflect, time to introspect. Like I said, sometimes we're so busy looking, we want answers like immediately. We want to know everything right now, when it's going to happen, how it's going to happen, what color it's going to be, what it's going to smell like all we want to know all the answers, right? But the hermit energy is that time where we give back to ourselves, where we look within. Okay? We really take that time to go within ourselves and to connect with our divine nature, right? That lives within our soul, that is our soul. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting here for some of you, is to just take the time. Maybe it is grounding. Maybe it is spending time alone, spending time in solitude, right? Especially if you feel stuck or confused or feel like you're just kind of stuck in a cycle here. Some of you, that can even be working on your level of confidence, because the chariot does require willpower, and we don't always have that, right? Maybe this is you focusing on being more independent. Maybe this is breaking free of codependency and attachments for some of you. Okay? Be open to different perspectives, pile 2. Be open to expanding your mind. Maybe connecting in with specific deities, or learning more about your spiritual path, or certain gods or goddesses that you can work with that'll help you for specific things that you're kind of moving through within your life. Okay, that being something that's going to help you to be more productive. Some of you might literally need to take a rest, especially if you have been working super hard and you're already kind of like floating around this 9 of Pentacles energy where you feel pretty stable. Maybe you need a rest. Okay, maybe it's time for a rest and to just slow down a little bit. Okay? So that is all that I have for you, pile number 2. I do hope this was helpful for you guys, and I will see you in the next reading. Hi, pile 3. So those of you that resonated with Anahata, Kali, this is going to be a reading. So we're finding out today, how can you break this cycle that you are in? So let's look at your tarot. Okay. So we have the Two of Pentacles. Two of Pentacles. We have the High Priestess. I love this. Look at that. High Priestess. We have the Seven. Oh, okay. I know what this is about. The Seven of Swords. Look at that snake stealing eggs. Okay. And then we have the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, so there's your cycle right there. Okay, there is your cycle. The Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune. Okay, so we might need to get a little bit of clarification here, but we'll see. Okay, so we've got Energizer here, and it says communication. We have observe. Observe. Look at all those eyes. The eye there. And disguise. Okay. This is interesting. Communication. Okay, I think I do want to clarify this Seven of Swords a little bit. But yes, I am seeing the Wheel of Fortune here. Yeah, let me work through this for a second, but I think what Spirit is saying here is that clearly there's a cycle here. But I'm feeling like you guys are at a turning point in your life where there's a change that is needed. Okay, hold on a second. Okay, Pathway, so what I would like to do, I want to actually start with this card here, which says Energizer and communication. Okay, Energizer and communication. And I'm going to leave this over here because it puts this not so nice, and you can see my fingerprints all over the card. It puts this not so nice glare there. But this is from the Master Teacher Crystal Oracle, the Master Devas. And so this crystal, it says it's helpful for mental telepathy, spiritual communication, amplifying energy, moving stuck energy, sending and receiving energy, and also strengthening energy flow. Okay, so the message for this card, which I feel like really is very helpful here, especially with these two cards right there. It says, you have called this crystal into your awareness as it is an important time for communication. There is something in your life right now that you are not expressing, and it's affecting your overall well-being. It is incredibly important to practice good communication to maintain a healthy throat chakra and to feel free and confident in yourself. When you suppress, manipulate, and hold back the sharing of your thoughts and feelings, it can cause you and your relationships a world of confusion and create misunderstanding and conflict. You may find sometimes you sometimes hold back from saying what you truly feel to avoid hurting people's feelings. The possibility of being rejected and because of a fear of conflict. However, it's time to tune in to what you're not saying. And the medicine of this crystal is here to assist you. This crystal transports energy from one place to another and can help you to move the suppressed energy in your throat. So some of you might have some throat chakra stuff going on here. And I feel like being that we have this Anahata, I'm noticing that this is green here. It kind of reminds me that it's coming from your heart space. Okay? And it doesn't necessarily have to be something that you're going through right now. It could be that you're going through a healing process. Maybe you're going through something right now, like a breakup or something that's within, but it almost makes me feel like it's something that you're needing to express. And I'm also noticing she's got some cracks here in her throat. Yeah, that it could be coming something from the heart that you're needing to express here is kind of what I'm getting from this intuitively. Okay. Yeah, it says, you may find sometimes you hold back from saying what you truly feel to avoid hurting people's feelings. We're already way past that. Communication can also refer to listening. So currently there may be something you are not hearing. This crystal will assist you to express from a place of love and empowerment, which is here, love. Have you been holding off from sharing your thoughts and feelings? Do you find you have issues with your throat, such as a sore throat or losing your voice? Are you not hearing something someone is sharing with you? Do you feel like you may hurt someone by sharing your truth? Whatever is happening for you, it is directly connected to communication, which may be lacking. Okay, so some of you, yes, you could be needing to communicate or express something to someone, but it may also be communication with yourself. Okay, so you can also look at it that way. Take time to work with the devas of this crystal so they can assist you to connect into what it is you're not saying or hearing. When you share your truth, it's important that it's done from a place of love with no judgment. You can do the ceremony below to help you to work out how and what you would like to say. It will guide you through a process of talking to a person's higher self, the all-loving, all-knowing part. Because you are expressing to their soul, they will receive your words with no judgment or defensiveness. Their soul has already received your truth. I feel like I want to try this later. Sometimes after this process, you will release that you didn't need to speak directly to them, as the expression was more about you releasing the energy from yourself. So what I will say is that what I notice about this process that they're talking about is also something that you can do during the full moon. Because sometimes there are certain people that we cannot talk to, where there is so much conflict, or, the person doesn't want to listen, or you're no longer in contact with a specific person, or talking to a person is not possible. But there are still things that you need to say, things that you want to say, and maybe speaking to that person is not possible. I mean, they could also be someone who has hurt you, or even a situation where somebody has passed on and you have things that you want to say, you have things that you want to express, right? That are eating away at you in some sense. And there's a need for you to speak up, to say something, right? So like I said, we don't always have that option. Okay. So if you are dealing with that, okay, I would suggest to you writing. Okay, creative writing. Maybe you write a person a letter. Maybe you write a letter to your past self. Maybe you write a letter to your inner child. Maybe you allow your inner child to express something. Maybe there's something for some of you that's a past version of yourself has something to express. Okay, there's so many different ways of being able to work with what this is talking about. But I'm also getting it, not all of us have this crystal here. But we can, right, set the intention to connect in with our higher self, another person's higher self, to be able to express something. And like this is saying, just the act alone of you using your voice to say what you need to say is healing. Because it helps you to release this energy that could be stuck or blocked, right? So some of you literally could be stuck in certain cycles because you don't speak your truth. You don't use your voice. You don't speak up. You're not assertive. You could be like, I don't feel confident enough to speak my truth, right? And sometimes with not being able to speak up or say something or to express our heart, express our feelings, we could find ourselves in the same cycle over and over again, whether that be with the same person or different people. Okay? So it says other ways to help you communicate are doing a throat chakra clearing and writing down what it is you need to say, as this can make it less overwhelming. That's what I just said, and give you clarity. Once you get whatever it is off your chest, you will feel a sense of freedom and empowerment, and will deepen your connection to yourself and those around you. So here is the ceremony, okay? Those of you that want to take a screenshot of this or pause the video, take a picture of it, so that you can do that. I might try this later, for yourself. Okay. So what I'm getting from that with our question today, how can you break the cycle that you're in? We've got, like I said, we have your cycle right here. Okay. That the Wheel of Fortune is about the ebb and flow of life. It is about the cycles that are taking place. And sometimes they're great. Sometimes they're not so great. But the Wheel of Fortune is also about learning how to go with the flow. Okay. Learning to go with the flow. And sometimes there are certain, I would say thoughts in this case. Okay, thoughts. Because the Seven of Swords energy is scattered thinking. Okay, ungrounded. Our thoughts are ungrounded here with the Seven of Swords. And this can also be a place where we have fears. We have insecurities. We're anxious. We're avoidant. This is also a card of escapism. Okay? Escapism, running away. So with the observe here, and if you look at this person sitting in the center, they are practicing stillness. Okay? So this might be a need for you with how you can break the cycles that you're in, no matter what they are, practicing stillness and observing your thoughts. Okay? Observing your own thoughts. Because with your disguise here, some of you I look at this disguise as a false version of yourself or a very protective suit of limiting beliefs or self-sabotaging behaviors or fears or insecurities that are blocking you from you being who you truly are, which is the High Priestess. Okay? The High Priestess is our intuition. It is within all of us. Okay? This High Priestess energy. The High Priestess is about us connecting into that part of ourself, the intuition, the all-knowing, right? All-loving version of self. It is our feminine energy. Okay? So the message with the High Priestess is about withdrawing. It is about going within. It is not looking outside of the self for answers. Okay? It is about listening to what our soul, or feeling into what our soul is telling us, is calling us towards, is moving us towards. And I feel for some of you, the Seven of Swords is an illusion. It is our fears. It is our insecurities. It is our mind kind of going crazy and thoughts all over the place. So it's disorganized, right? It's ungrounded energy. So this is a time, and look at all these eyeballs kind of like going all over the place, right? So to me, it's kind of like there's a need to look at, observe the communication that you have with yourself, maybe even with others, okay? Because the Seven of Swords can also be a card of deception, and it could be, are your own thoughts deceiving you, right? Is another person deceiving you, right? I don't know what your situation is. It's a general reading, but to me, the disguise is the false self, right? And when I look at this card here and thinking that you are this High Priestess, I look at this snake as your fears, your own insecurities that are literally taking from you, stealing from you. Like the snake is stealing an egg right out of that nest. Think of these little eggs here as all of the ideas that you have, all the plans that you have, all the things that you want to do, all the things that you want to work on. And you're allowing your own thoughts to take away from you, right? So the Two of Pentacles energy here is about priorities. It's about balance. It's about our choices. It's about weighing our options. And I'm also noticing that the snake has kind of curled up into this little figure 8 here. And the number 2s all connect into the High Priestess, okay? The High Priestess is also a card of duality, of balance as well, okay? So some of you, how can you break out of the cycle that you're in? This can be looking at what your priorities are, right? Thinking about your choices. And are those choices being made out of this Seven of Swords energy? Be observant of your thoughts, right? Which is basically what Spirit is saying here. How can you break the cycle? Look at the communication. Look at your inner dialogue. Okay? Are you keeping yourself stuck in a cycle of insecurities, fears that are affecting your abundance, your love life, your career, your finances? Okay? So I want to clarify just a little bit. But yeah, to me, this is like you maybe having to have created this disguise for yourself to help you, right, along your path. But you don't need this anymore, pile 3. You don't need it anymore. It's time for you to take off this disguise, right? Whether that be the fears that have kept you safe, the insecurities that once served a purpose to protect you, the doubts. Now it's time to release them. Okay? Let's see. Why is the Seven of Swords here? Yes, there's definitely a need for balance here. Balance, choices, priorities. What are your priorities? Are you prioritizing yourself? Are you putting another person before you? Why is the Seven of Swords here? The Hierophant. It's your beliefs. It's your beliefs, pile 3. And that could be fears, right? Because of certain beliefs that you have. Some of you, because the Hierophant is also about commitment, okay? Some of you, there could be an illusion surrounding a commitment. Okay? If you are, this is not a love reading, but those of you that are kind of, say, stuck in a cycle with meeting people who are unavailable, people who don't want commitment, people who give you the illusion of commitment, right? In that case, I feel like your advice would be observe, right? Which is also what the High Priestess does, observes. It's still, it's quiet. Okay? What does your gut feeling tell you about that person, about the situation? Are you deceiving yourself with that situation and keeping yourself stuck in a cycle with another person who's escaping or running away and avoidant of commitment? What does your gut feeling tell you? Observe this person's energy. Maybe there's a need to communicate with that person, or if this person is not open to communicating, what does your gut feeling tell you about that? Should you move on? Okay? Why is the Seven of Swords here? The Sun. Some of you, I feel like there's a need for you to work on your confidence. Okay? A need for you to work on your self-confidence, your self-esteem. Some of you, your own fears and insecurities, or whatever it is, right, in that Seven of Swords energy for you, that is keeping you from your happiness, stealing your joy away, right, from life, let's just say. Why is the Seven of Swords here? The Lovers. Okay. Now, some of you, yes, it could have to do with a relationship that you're needing a change of perspective on, where you need to withdraw and observe the situation that you've got going on with this person. Okay? For others of you where this has nothing to do with love, the Lovers is about finding union with inside of yourself, balance. Okay? Look at how these two little flamingos have their little heads together here. And the heart is connecting them. Okay? So the Lovers is also about a choice. It's about decisions. So there's a need for you here to take a look at what beliefs you have, right, that are holding you back, okay, from going with the flow, right? Because those fears can definitely keep us stuck. those illusions, us deceiving ourselves with our own thoughts, us having scattered or disorganized thoughts, us having anxiety can also be something that keeps us stuck in cycles, right? A lot of energy here where Spirit's saying there's something that you're needing to express. Okay? But take a look at, like I said, take a look at your inner dialogue. Are you filled with, talking down to yourself? Are you negative thinking? What is it that's going on inside with you? This is where Spirit's saying to go within, to withdraw, observe your thoughts, observe another person. Then what is your intuition telling you about that? Okay? The Lovers and the Sun, I'm seeing this as how can you break the cycle is learning, feeling more confident in your decisions. Okay? To make change, to stepping outside of your comfort zone. Okay? So let's look at this Anahata Kali, which is number 33. And let's see. Okay, so it says, beautiful, powerful mother of the sacred universal heart, who lives within our heart as the wisdom and healing power of love. Your heart knows how to heal and how to open, how to break and repair itself to become stronger and wiser than before. Your heart cannot be contained or constrained by what has taken place. Your heart, wisdom, and empowerment are growing. Soon you shall have the wisdom and courage to accomplish something very important for your soul journey. Trust in the invisible workings of divine love. Let your heart be at peace. So some of you, with how can you break the cycle that you're in, there can be healing. Okay? There can be healing. And we've got throat chakra and heart chakra energy here. The journey of the soul is the journey from the head to the heart. Anahata is the Sanskrit name for the heart chakra. Anahata Kali is the goddess who secures the awakening, transformation, and liberation of the heart. Love is her expression. When Kali Ma touches the heart, it becomes capable of love that is increasingly unconditional, fearless, and compassionate. Such empowerments often manifest through loss and betrayal, and you've got the Seven of Swords. Okay? The Seven of Swords is a card of deception, lies, cheating, getting away with something, betrayal. If you've ever been betrayed by someone, right, in the past, some of you might have some healing to do, right? Maybe you have gone through betrayal in the past and you find yourself with people who lie, who cheat, who betray you, who hide things, who, all of those things. The way in which you can get out of even those cycles of connecting with people like that is to heal, is to express to that person or to the universe, write a letter, what that has done to you, how that has made you feel. Right? Express the pain that you've carried because of a situation that you've gone through. So there's a lot of shadow work here. Pile 3. Okay? The heart, the throat chakra, the high priestess, I look at that as the third eye. Right? The third eye, the crown chakra, our connection to the divine. Okay, so it says, love is her expression. When Kali Ma touches the heart, it becomes capable of love that is increasingly unconditional, fearless, compassionate. Such empowerments often manifest through loss and betrayal. In responding to such challenges, we grow our heart's capacity for love, processing and healing emotions of grief, betrayal, and anger. Our heart becomes stronger through the process. The human heart is capable of overcoming enormous negativity. It is an astonishingly powerful and beautiful temple of spirit. We can underestimate the extraordinary power of the heart by focusing on its sweetness, love, and light as though they were weaker than anger, fear, and the consuming intensity of grief. We can only begin to understand the spiritual worlds and how they operate when we let go of the human perspective. A human believes that the heavier and denser something is, the more powerful it is. A heavy emotion like anger or physical situations that appear gridlocked are given more weight than the intangible realms of spirit. Yet spirit is behind all things, in all things. Being invisible does not impede its effectiveness. If anything, it enhances it. For something so seemingly invisible, love has unconquerable power. We affirm this in expressions such as love can move mountains or love will always find a way. Yet we are conditioned to believe that there is more power in what we see and can control, rather than the spiritual power of love. Such conditioning pulls us away from the heart connection and into a fear-based belief system that we need to control things or there will be no benefit, no safety, no happiness. However, we can never be safe if we are disconnected from the spiritual home of the heart where all healing, wisdom, true guidance, spiritual protection, and regenerating vitality resides. Some of you, as I was reading this right now, Spirit was showing me actually a picture of Sedona, actually. I was seeing Sedona, like the mountains there. And so because I'm looking at this as very spiritual, okay? Spiritual retreat in a sense. So maybe for some of you, there's a need for you to spend some time going on a healing retreat. Some of you that are holding on to either whether it's betrayal or it's some type of grief and loss, okay? Some of you may have lost a pet, a loved one, even a breakup that you've gone through that has been very painful. There's something that you're needing to clear within your energy here to help you to get out of these cycles, to clear this energy from you, okay? I don't know, maybe some of you are feeling called to Sedona. If you're in the United States, I'm sure if you're out of the United States, it's a little harder. You have to plan for a big trip. But those of you, that are living within the U.S., Sedona, Spirit is showing me Sedona, which is very, very beautiful there. It's such a beautiful experience. The backlog of emotional pain stored in our hearts can sometimes cause us to shut down, even when we know that in closing down our hearts, we lose out on love's joy and wisdom. We may go through the motions of living, but without the real emotional juice and revitalizing engagement with life. Kali Anahata brings a message from the Divine Mother that she is supporting you in healing your heart. She wants you to connect to more profound joy in your life. As you trust in yourself and trust in her, you can heal even long-term karmic scars. Wow. You can learn to return to love, to be in love, to live the love within your beautiful heart. For those who live from the heart space, it can be hard to remember what it was like before. Yet many still live in such a way, driven by fear, plagued with anxiety, hardened through living in a way that is oppressive to the spirit. The oracle asks you to acknowledge how far you've come and where you would like to go, not so much in terms of external markers, but in terms of emotional freedom. If you have been focusing on healing a specific issue in your life, the oracle indicates you have the strength, wisdom, and courage of heart to accomplish that. Okay? There's a message here also for those that have been heartbroken in love, in spiritual communities, by friends or family members, by God or life itself. The message here is that something deeper is taking place. The shattering of structures, even of ideals, gives the heart the opportunity to break free and open up to a greater and more satisfying experience and expression of love. Becoming non-defensive, softening, and opening to spirit with unconditional trust places you in a position of astonishing protection, empowerment, and grace. Keep your heart open to the Divine Mother. Through that openness, the right thing shall emerge at the right time. The walls we build around our hearts need to be broken down so that we can fulfill our sacred purpose and path. Trust that the pains of your past do not have a place in your future. No matter what appears to be, she knows the way through. Temper your fierce emotions without denying them. Keep bringing yourself back to your center. Continue to find the moderate and peaceful resting place within. Even as you make radical progress on your path, the oracle predicts the success, completion of a time of spiritual initiation. Grace yourself with the gift of relief and trust that all is well. Okay? So very beautiful message. Like I said, many of you, this could be, I can even look at this as some of you might have a lot of pain here, right? That has not been expressed. And you may have, because of this heartache, whatever you've experienced, some type of loss or betrayal here, or your own thoughts, right? That do that to you. That because of those circumstances of life that you've had, like I said, have had to build up this little suit around yourself to protect yourself, right? Wearing this disguise, wearing this guard and this protection, and maybe have been a little bit disconnected from the self, right? And that is something that kind of keeps you, in a way, stuck in certain cycles. Okay? So yeah, maybe some of you can even work with, all of this energy that we have here this month of August 2023 to take this time to work towards releasing, healing, clearing, resting, retreating, speaking your truth, expressing yourself in whatever form of expression that you feel the most comfortable with. Okay? But the important thing with the Wheel of Fortune is going with the flow and making the changes that are necessary when Spirit is guiding us towards those changes. Okay? So that is all that I have for you, pile number 3. I do hope this was helpful for you guys, and I will see you in the next reading.